Hey kids, time for your lesson on pinch pot closed or small opening forms. These are kind of difficult to make, not easy build here, more challenging form. You might have to practice this one a few times. So first thing I do is just cube up my clay, get the air out, make the clay as dense as I can. There we go. And then knock down the corners and then turn it into a sphere. And you may see a common theme here with my pinch pots. This is how I start them all. All right, there's a little bit of a flaw right there, so I might as well start right there. Now, I put my index finger in, and my goal here is not to let this opening get much bigger or any bigger than that hole. Now this gets pretty tricky. So I have to be very mindful to not let this opening spread out. So when I put my finger in here, I sort of need to let my thumb do the work here. So I want to keep this finger still and push my thumb and my index finger together. Oh, cramping that hand, so switch to the other one. And I'm very mindful. I keep an eye on this opening as I'm pinching, and I'm doing the bottom. You can see my pinches at the bottom. And I'm spreading the clay up into this area. So if we look in there, you can see the cavity has gotten bigger, but the opening has stayed small. And if you hold the pot kind of like this while you're doing your pinching, or like this, you can sort of squeeze that opening closed so it doesn't get any smaller. All right, so now I'm going to take my finger and stick it in there and kind of push out like that, the inside, and belly out the bottom, just turning it. Now I'm pinching this section here, pinching it basically up, and I'm holding the pot so the opening doesn't get any larger. So I take my finger out of there. You can see I can still just get my index in there, so I still have my size. All right, so now I'm stretching out this area a bit, being mindful not to have that opening get any wider. Now I'm pinching the clay in here up towards the opening with my thumb. And if your opening does get wider on you, you can always take your hands and squeeze the opening closed again, like this. And that might be too close, because now I can't get my index finger in there anymore. So if it does open up on you, there are ways to fix it. And typically these forms have a spherical kind of feel of them. And my finger is in there just doing this, just sort of stretching out the clay from the inside. And the clay is about the same thickness or gauge everywhere. And the opening stayed quite small. So there's my index, a little bigger than it was, so I can close that. And then you can take a knife if you like. And cut out the imperfections. There we go. And every time you cut with a knife, you leave sharp edges. You have to take care of that right away. All the clay is still soft. Otherwise, you don't want to leave a sharp edge because it will become razor sharp. Dummy all those down. Smooth all those sharp edges out. Close that opening a little bit more. And that is basic form for a closed opening. Much more difficult than a cup. All right. Thanks for watching.